there were just so many discussions on so many levels about how do we present this family in a way that they are appealing to the audience, but we can show the level of their economic situation. I mean, they had nothing. The sharing of clothes, that, there was always this thing about someone's pulling someone else's shirt out of the laundry bag, and, the sharing, and the fact that their small community, they didn't have a lot, but they loved one another. But also, you can't make it so sad that it's a desperate thing for someone to, the people wouldn't want to watch the show. So again, like, it was a very similar show in some respects to ER, in that we had to create these images of young, some of them, I mean, Emma's character, such young people struggling with poverty, and show that poverty when you need multiples of 10, and aging it all and making it feel lived in, but also still feeling fresh enough that it's not too depressing for the audience. So it's quite a fine line, I think. And Bill just embraced it and loved it. And he tells the famous story, which isn't 100% true, that, because we did do fittings in the beginning, that he never had a costume fitting on Shameless, because early on we decided that Frank should really always just be a mess at all times in every situation. So basically we'd just throw clothes in his room at the beginning of every episode, and he'd just throw on whatever he felt like in that moment. And knowing that everything came from his closet anyway. So we had this giant closet for Frank, but Bill was sort of instrumental in costuming himself, and he's very proud of that. We just used to tie knots in clothes and put them in a bag overnight so they were sort of a real mess, and then throw them in his room in the morning, and he'd, put together whatever, and that was what he wore for that episode. And and towards the end we did that more and more with all the actors, actually. We'd give them 5 or 6 things, let them throw it together. I'd watch and make sure it worked, go in the morning, check in on them. We did have some controversy from the audience who thought that Mickey's shirt was on a background artist, but it really wasn't. It was they were so defensive of Mickey's costumes. I got all these texts and emails from people, Instagram posts, like, why is that extra wearing Mickey's shirt? He wasn't wearing Mickey's shirt. I mean, people were so invested in Mickey and Ian, and still are. Fantastic love story. Or even, this was Lip's shirt, and now Frank is wearing it because he stole it. All those little beats were intentional. They were definitely, and we would age things down appropriately, or cut the sleeves out of something that Lip had worn, but now Carl was wearing it. So we would, because it's what families do. I mean, it's real, isn't it? There's a whole section of our department, they're called Aged Dyers, and that's what they do. I love doing it myself personally because I love getting dirty and getting in there. And I'm really quick, and they hate me because I'm just like, because I just want to be fast, but there's a real art to it, and I am not an aged dyer. And they're artists. They're true artists, and I don't think they get enough credit for the beautiful work that they do.